What's going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or Catalyst, and this is a no bullshit, completely honest review based on my experiences in the Call of Duty World War II beta. No flying me out to California to play the game, no endorsements, no getting paid to say anything, just the honest truth. And the honest truth is that I wasn't planning on getting the beta at all. I wasn't planning on getting World War II until after some reviews came out, and even then, I really honestly didn't expect myself to get the game. However, I got a text message from Corso saying he picked it up and he said it was good, so promptly I drove my ass to GameStop and figured that it was at least worth dropping a $5 bill on it just to try it. Having said that, and having played the game, am I buying the game on launch now? Has Call of Duty World War II completely blown me and my very low expectations away? Well, let's talk about it. If you are new to our channel, our subscribers could tell you that the members of Legendary Inc. normally play three main games: Rocket League, Battlefield 1, and Overwatch. And those three games have been our crutches for the past 5 or 6 months that we've been a channel, since no new games have come out until now. I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, like a lot of Call of Duty back in the day, much like a lot of my generation of gamers, I think. You know, the Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1 days. But Black Ops 3 was really the end of my trust of Call of Duty. Not because the game was necessarily bad, because actually, in my opinion, it was quite good until around the 4th DLC pack. But it's more because I hated supply drops. I was sick of jetpacks, and I hated all the one-shot bullshit that had become to plague the game. You know, breccies, all the add-in weapons that were better than the base game weapons. You know, like the melee weapons were very, very annoying, and it just wasn't fun to play anymore. I didn't play Infinite Warfare because I wasn't looking to become clinically depressed, and after the life cycle of that game, I think I made the right decision. And here we are at Call of Duty World War II. I'm going to start with a good first. I don't really have anything written down after this intro. I just have bullet points, so I'm going to go let myself ramble, and we'll see where it goes. Everything good, bad, and ugly with Call of Duty World War II in about 15 minutes. Starting off with things that are really, really good about this game. First up, we have the gunplay. It's the most important component, I think, in making a good Call of Duty game, and thankfully, the gunplay is really, really good in World War II. The guns feel fluid, they feel very smooth, and they also feel very gritty and powerful, which is something that you would expect for a game like Call of Duty World War II, where the weapons weren't as, I guess, crisp as you can say. The M1 Garand, when you pop, when you get that, like the pum pum pum, it really feels, you can feel it in your chest. The gunplay is really, really good, and I am really happy about that, because I was really worried about the gunplay in this game, considering that Advanced Warfare's gunplay was, yeah, but maybe that was just because of all the jump back and bunny hopping everywhere. Next, the game has okay hit detection. It's good enough for now, but I'm giving it a bit of a pass because it's a beta. And the time to kill is in a really great place. It's not as fast as Infinite Warfare, which was a complete melt machine, but it's not as slow as Black Ops 3. So I am a big fan of the time to kill. I think it's in a very good spot, but it is inconsistent at times. But like I said, this is the beta. All of my opinions and experiences are based on the beta. So I'm thinking it's a little bit more of a good thing than a bad thing right now. If it's the same way during the actual launch of the game, then I would be very, very concerned. The game has amazing spawns. In the 5 or 6 hours that I have been playing the game, I've only gotten one spawn, of which I spawned directly in front of somebody. So the spawns have been completely overhauled. The spawns are really, really good and unpredictable. And that's a big change if you think about what past Call of Duties had gone through. I think in the Modern Warfare 3 days, spawning and spawn trapping was one of the hot button issues about the game. And it's finally good to see that they got it right. After all these years, I really think that the spawns have found a nice spot, and kudos to Sledgehammer Games for finding them. Now, speaking of Sledgehammer, the audio design. I remember back in Advanced Warfare, one of the dev diary videos that IGN posted or whatever, they said they were really passionate about their audio design, and I am glad to see that that passion has returned to this game, because this game sounds incredible. I would wager that it's the best sounding Call of Duty ever. The guns sound amazing. The callouts, which we'll talk about in a second, sound amazing. The dialogue is good. And just like explosions, whether it's indoors, far away from you, outdoors, close to you, etc., etc., it feels very earthy and chunky, I don't know how to explain it better than that. If you haven't played the game, you would understand what I'm saying. But the sound design is top notch, and it brings a whole nother level of authenticity to this game. As I mentioned just a few seconds ago, callouts, or I guess audio cues to the locations of enemy players, very useful, and they kept the little call out text in the top left hand corner. They kept that from Infinite Warfare. So I think over time, the players are going to get really used to knowing which parts of the map are which, and those callouts are going to become even more useful later on. The graphics for this game are really good. It's not the best looking game that you'll see. I think people have been really giving the devs a hard time about the graphics of this game, but the graphics are really good in my opinion, and the attention to detail is there. The maps are colorful, and I'm not quite sure if you've been able to notice yet, but when you get shot and you die, if you see it in your chest, the blood will actually expand into the clothing of the soldier, and I thought that attention to detail was really cool. When I noticed that the first time, I was completely blown away. That is incredible, so kudos to Sledgehammer Games. Divisions, I think, are an amazing replacement to the Pig 10 system. I'm really excited about Divisions. It makes the progression system a little bit better. It's a little new, I guess, refreshing. Because the progression system has gotten really stale over the past few years. You know, you'd have your initial grinding for weapons in the first Prestige, but then what was there to do? Get Dark Matter? Not everybody wants to grind their ass off, 5 hours a day to get a Dark Matter camo. So I think the progression system and the perks that it brings, basic training, etc., it's going to bring a new, fresh taste to the Call of Duty progression system, and I'm really excited for it. Headquarters, it's not in the beta, but I'm just going to say that it looks really, really good and exciting. I've been asking for a social space for this game forever, and I'm really happy to be finally getting it. War, as you can see, I am playing on the gameplay right now, is a fantastic addition. I am looking forward to seeing how they handle it moving forward. However, I'm not sure how the Call of Duty community will handle it, because in the few games that I played, it was absolute pub stomp. I got wrecked on both sides, so it's a nice new objective game mode, but I'm not quite sure how the Call of Duty fanbase is going to take it, because it is a little bit different. This is a little bit more of a nitpicky thing. You don't notice all the women and the blacks in the game. I know there was a lot of controversy about that, a lot of social justice warriors going in on the rest of the community for this. When you're in the heat of the battle, you don't notice it, and it does not bother you unless you are looking for it. So if you are looking for it, it's definitely going to bother you, but I don't think you should. I think it's really stupid in the first place. It's a video game, and I understand, historical accuracy, and I am for historical accuracy, but in the multiplayer, it's a little bit different, but you do not notice it, like I said, if you are in the heat of the moment and playing the game. Which, speaking of, the classic game feel is back. I think there's a lot of fun to be had with this game. It's a fun factor that has not been present in Call of Duty for a while. Score streaks are fun as hell. They are seriously really, really fun and innovative, but they need to be buffed, especially the paratrooper kill streak, which is a really high streak in the beta right now, and it's really, really poopy. It's like the paratroopers are playing on the recruit difficulty for bots. Really, really bad in that sense, but the streaks are fun. They just need to be buffed a little, which brings me into the bad stuff. The streaks are hard to earn. The score needs to be lowered, and they need to be buffed, because the game is very, very slow. It's hard for veterans to get used to the speed of the game due to the past 3 Call of Duties being jetpack Call of Duties. Call of Duty World War II really is a game of patience. It's very slow, it's methodical, and if you rush like we've all become accustomed to in the past 3 Call of Duties, you will get killed, and it will be difficult to earn score streaks. That is my personal experience. I had a hard time with this game. I was not doing well, but once I started to take it slow, I was able to earn more streaks, but still, it's very difficult to earn streaks, even if you are playing methodically. And this slow pace, this game of patience, could really turn people away, but that's kind of the bed that Call of Duty has made with the jetpacks, so they kind of need to sleep in it. It could throw off some people, and it could really make some people not like this game. The bayonet charge is annoying, very, very annoying. The one-shot kill range can be activated very, very close, and I think it's kind of cheap. And what I mean by that is that, say if I was standing directly in front of somebody, I had an SMG, he had an assault rifle with a bayonet charge. if he was literally standing on my shoes, he could bayonet charge me and one-shot me. So essentially, it turns into the panic knife from past boots on the ground CODs, and I do not like that. I think it's very cheap. I think you can still keep the bayonet charge, but that activation where you charge somebody needs to be pulled back a little. I don't think you should be able to bayonet charge somebody when you're literally spooning with them and get the one-shot kill when all they can do, if they're not running an assault rifle themselves, is give you a gun butt. So I think that needs to be changed. I think the bayonet charge is not that great with where it is right now. The PPSH, as you are seeing in the gameplay right now, is very, very good. It is easily the best weapon in the game. Probably next is the Wafa, the new one that they released yesterday. Those two will get nerfed, but I just want to send out a broad message about gun balancing in general. I think the gun balancing is not the best it's been right now. I think the weapons are all very powerful. Some are ridiculously powerful. So I think either it needs to be taken down a little bit or a lot of weapon balancing needs to be tweaked. It all needs to be tweaked before launch. This is a small thing for me, but the grenade indicator is awkward and it's very hard to see, and they need to fix it. There have been times when I've been in a room and I would blow up out of nowhere because I did not see that there was a grenade right in front of me. And the part of the problem is that the grenade indicator is red when it's close to you, and then it goes to black when it's further away from you. And black is very, very hard to see, especially when you're getting shot. It needs to be a little bit brighter. It needs to be a little bit more in your face because, like I said, there have been times when I've been running into a room and I wouldn't have no idea that a grenade is there, and I would blow up out of nowhere, and that's because I cannot see the grenade indicator, so they really, really need to fix that. Sniping is too easy for my taste, even though the sniping itself feels really, really good. Like I said, the gunplay with all across the board is fantastic and it is satisfying, but sniping is too easy in this game, as you can probably see by a little bit of the earlier gameplay. I was just murking kids. So now on to the things that are really, really ugly with this game. Like, they are awful. They are absolutely horrendous. I would change it immediately or take it out of the game altogether. Although these points are things that you really can't take out. But anyways, first ugly point. This is what you all are here for probably. The maps in this game, apart from the war game mode, are horrendous. They are awkward. There are lots of areas to get flanked, and it's almost like I'm playing Rainbow Six Siege because people could be camping in any corner, and I feel the need to check every corner due to the game being so slow paced. If you rush out, you will get shot immediately. So I really feel like I'm playing another game besides Call of Duty because of this map design. I feel like I'm constantly either getting shot in the back or from an insane head glitch. The maps are really, really bad, and I remember Advanced Warfare's maps not being great either, but this game's maps, if the rest of the game's maps are like the maps they have given us in the beta, I am seriously concerned for the life of Call of Duty World War II because it is frustrating, it is annoying, and it's not fun to play on from just a map standpoint. The rest of the game makes up for the poor maps, which still makes the game fun. But the maps need to be fixed. I think Ardennes Forest is probably the best map out of the three we've been given, followed by Point du Hoc, and Gibraltar is the one that I just cannot stand. The game can be a camp fest. The long lines of sight get camped often, to the point where you kind of need to keep it close quarters. Otherwise, you're going to get melted down by a powerful STG or whatever. Incinerating shells are annoying and awful, and they need to be tweaked or completely removed because there's no reason why. There is a reason why, because every division has something special that goes along with them, but the incinerating shells are annoying, and I wish they weren't in the game at all. The party system still continues to be among the worst in all video games ever. In multiple attempts, I was unable to party up with any of my friends that had the beta. This is a problem that has plagued every single Call of Duty since goes, and it pisses me off that it's not fixed. There is no reason why a yearly release game that is popular, that has been popular forever, still has a party system that does not work. There is nothing more infuriating than wanting to play a game with your friends and then not being able to do that for whatever reason. Battlefield, I can join my friends. I can join on their games in progress. Battlefield has a great party system, or at least it does now. Call of Duty's party system is horrendous, and it needs to be fixed. Black Ops 3 had this problem, and it still has this problem 2 years later, and it's beside me why they cannot fix the party system, and maybe it's something with the server overload, but it's Call of Duty. These games have been popular for over a decade. It needs to be fixed, and it quite frankly, I'm getting angry. It pisses me off why the party system is not fixed. And that's about it. Keep in mind, everyone, that this is made using the beta version of the game, so by the game's release in November, things could be completely fixed or changed. As far as my personal opinion is, I think overall the game has a lot of promise and is good fundamentally. It's a fun game to play. It's a lot more fun than Infinite Warfare or Black Ops 3, and this could be the game that saves Call of Duty. It really could be. I know that's a cliche thing to say, and especially that's a thing to say if you build hype, but I have no reason to build hype for this game. I am on my last straw with Call of Duty, and I have been for a couple of years now, but Sledgehammer really needs to work out the kinks in the maps and the party system, and they need to be spot on with the weapon balancing in the game. If that gets fixed, then I look forward to playing this game in November on launch. Guys, if you liked the video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more content. We post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, or at least we try to. It's been pretty hectic lately, moving back to college and everything. As I said at the beginning of the video, we are not strong Call of Duty YouTubers, so if you are looking for consistent Call of Duty content, I can't promise you that here, but we do play Call of Duty and a bunch of other different games, so if there's something for everyone here at Legendary Inc. We got a huge Battlefield 1 special coming up as a thank you for 150 subs, so look out for that, but most importantly, thank you for watching. My name is Nick or Catalyst, and I will see you all here on the channel another time.